What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I have my buddy Safe's 2004 Audi TT RS. Audi TTS?
Oh, it's just TT.
Audi TT, okay.
Yeah.
It's got the 3.2 liter VR6. It is JDM. The steering wheel's on the wrong side. Whatever. Regardless, it needs the coolant thermostat. It also needs the housing and the temp sensor. We're just going to replace it all. It's located down there, so I'm going to walk you guys step by step on how to find this problem. Another thing I want to mention is most Audis have this problem, and if you look here, you can see they actually circled it 4 times. The first thing you're going to want to do is jack your vehicle up. I've already jacked the car up on jack stands here, and then slowly release your coolant cap to relieve the pressure. If it's hot, do it very slowly so you don't burn the hell out of your hands. So once your vehicle is jacked up, if you go underneath, you're going to want to remove this skid plate. So once you remove the tray, there's a little cog back there, you can see. Turn that counterclockwise and pull it back. If that doesn't want to move and you don't want to break it, you can just lift this clip up and work that hose off the lower radiator hose. We're going to remove the airbox now. Basically, to the furthest of my knowledge, it looks like we're going to remove one 10mm bolt here. There will also be another one down there. You can see it far down there. Yep, that is the one. And then we're also going to remove this MAF sensor, which I will elaborate on a little bit more. And there's a springy clip here that we're also going to pull off. So let's get to it. Always have a magnet when you're working on these German cars, because when you lose a bolt, it's usually gone forever. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this spring clamp here on the throttle body. Whatever you got to squeeze it, move it back, that'll work. Pop that sucker off. There's a sensor here. As far as, you just push down on this tab right here. And then that'll pop out like that. This airbox should come loose now, just like that. So next up here, we're going to remove some kind of electrical junction box. If you look here, there'll be 3 10mm nuts. 1, 2, 3. Remove those guys, and then we're just going to lay this box over. Oh, and just rip that back. Oh, this is very broken. Oh, it's zip tied together, Safe.
I'm not.
Did you do this?
No.
You probably worked on this, didn't you? That's how
No.
Oh, that's a normal sound that Audis make. So now if we look here, we can definitely see things a little better.
This is the housing right here.
Okay. So there's a bracket on the coolant thermostat housing held in by 2 5mm Allen keys. We're going to remove this bracket. Go ahead and remove these bolts. Whoa. What?
Very long.
These must actually hold it in place.
Yes, they hold it in place as well.
Okay. So go ahead and set these bolts to the side. Okay, keep rolling. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have to remove the wiring harness from the bottom side on this bracket and the PCV side. We're just going to remove the wiring harness and pull this bracket kind of out of the way. One last bolt holding your thermostat housing in. So we went ahead and removed this PCV clip and just squeezed this and unclipped this PCV pipe. And then this bracket will be loose. It's still attached to the wiring harness down there. But now, once we remove these coolant hoses, we'll be able to just kind of shove this out of the way. So now I'm going to go ahead and pop all these clamps back and work these coolant hoses loose. So for the bottom ones here, you can see I'm using a set of channel locks. Okay, we're just going to squeeze this and pull the hose off. And then coolant's going to go everywhere. So make sure you got something underneath to catch it all. Oh. And then I'm going to work this hose loose. Soft. I'm quite surprised. What we're going to do next is we're going to remove the coolant temp sensor. There is a clip on there. However, in this case, we know the clip is broken and the sensor was actually glued on. But basically, it's the same as the MAF sensor. You just kind of push the clip and release it, but I'm just going to pull this off with my pliers. If I can, oh yeah. So, go ahead and pull that connector off. If we can get it off here. Okay, yeah, just like that. And basically, we're going to pull the thermostat housing out now. So, we're going to be pulling this out of the engine. This is mounted in there like this. We have went ahead and removed this pipe, and this pipe. But I guess they call the pipe that feeds into here the crack pipe. So probably just order the pipe when you're replacing this. Basically, I'm going to try to hold this other pipe in place and work it free. We're going to see what happens. Which one break? Yeah, see, you can hear it. Oh, it didn't break.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
Okay. And then once you remove this,
This feels like it's kind of stuck in there though. Like I feel like this is what's holding us. Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, that was definitely part of the problem. This clip when it's in there, and then pull on it, you'll be able to slide this out. And in our case, I'm pretty positive that's going to give us enough room to, yeah, work this thing out. Now we're going to swap over these plugs. A pick like that. Make sure the gasket comes off. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to clean the surface of the block. So we're currently removing the 3 5mm Allen head bolts from the new coolant thermostat housing because we're going to check something with the thermostat here.
So when you remove this and you take a look at the thermostat, this little hole here has to be in the exact same spot. So the thermostat has to be in the exact same spot as where the OEM one sits. So before you put it in, you have to make sure that that all lines up so it's actually properly going to work as a thermostat.
That's important.
Remove the old one, pretty much match them up, make sure the hole's in the same spot.
That was really tight. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, I see. We line this nipple up with this, that to that.
Pretty much.
That makes sense.
Okay.
This goes that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you know what the torque is on these bolts?
10 Newton meters for pretty much everything you're going to do in this.
Okay, so I'm going to tighten these up by hand. So we're going to jam this sucker in there. I'm going to take some more grease. I'm going to put some grease in here where we're going to install this pipe. Now, set that puppy in place. So we're also going to change the O-ring on this crack pipe here very gently, hopefully without breaking the pipe. Okay. And I'm going to add some more grease just to make things a little easier. As for the block, I took a small piece of Scotch-Brite and just kind of scrubbed the block down with the Scotch-Brite. You want the surface to be smooth and clean. So scuff this up, clean it off, and now we're going to throw the thermostat on. After losing our minds trying to jam this new thermostat housing in, we realized that we could not fit this in, and this housing is actually slightly different than the one we have. You can see it's actually way more of an angle. Okay, I've worked the crack pipe on. Now we're going to go ahead and gently thread all our bolts in. So if you guys look down here, you can see I've went ahead and installed all 3 of these coolant pipes. I put that bracket back on too when I installed my coolant housing. Clipped out the vacuum line, plugged in the coolant temp sensor, and now we're going to go ahead, we're going to move this junction here. So just slap that back on, our air box. So I went ahead and secured the radiator drain plug. We are going to fill the system with antifreeze. So you're going to want to fill the reservoir and then run the car with the heater on defrost, maximum heat, and let the car run to kind of get all the air out of the coolant. One more thing I will say for these Volkswagens, you want to put a G12 antifreeze in them, which is the pink stuff. Make sure it's Audi Volkswagen approved. Frost. Ooh. Now just let your car idle for 5-10 minutes. Let the coolant burp down. Top it up as needed. Throw the skid plate on. And that's how you change the thermostat and housing on a VR6 3.2 liter. Once you've ran the car and confirmed there's no leaks, go ahead, close the hood, and you can drive your VR6. But don't forget, if you ever have a problem, once again, they circled the problem 4 times. All right, see you later.